Hello, welcome back to a brand new episode. I actually have some news, and this is going to be kind of a different type of episode. Hang tight, okay? First and foremost, a little update on my fertility journey and my journey to having baby number 3. I have recently come to realization that baby number 3 is not in the cards for me right now. This might come as a shock to some of you. For myself, however, I'm someone who, I don't necessarily share much of this online, but I'm huge into manifestation. I'm huge into universal signs and synchronicities and things like that. I'm a big believer in timing. I'm a big believer in things happening as they should, but also in the power that we have to create our own realities or co-create our own realities. Again, for some of you, you're probably going to be like, what is she even talking about? If that's you or not, hang tight. Again, we'll dive a little bit more into that because it is an important part, in my opinion, of being a single mom by choice. And whether or not I do have a third baby doesn't negate the fact that I'm already raising 2 entirely on my own. And have done so using a donor for my second. So I have lived it. I am living it. I am 8 years into being a single mom. So yeah, but I mean, I've kind of suddenly over the last maybe week had a feeling of maybe it's not the right time. Things haven't been lining up the way that I assumed they would. I kind of expected things to run smoothly. And that doesn't mean that if things don't run smoothly, it means that it's not the right time or it's not a good idea. I don't believe in that either. However, it's just kind of a knowing that I have within myself that right now, I really want to focus on my 2 kids. I really want to pour love and time and energy into them and to the little family that I do have. My brother, again, I don't know if I've ever mentioned on here, but my brother has cerebral palsy. He was born with cerebral palsy, which was caused by a lack of oxygen at the time of birth. He is a wheelchair user. He is honestly like one of my best friends. He's the coolest guy I've ever met in my entire life. And yeah, so he is a big part of my life. He's with me full time. So we're always kind of together, and I like being able to take care of all 3 of them, like my fam, so Riley, Leo, my 2 kids, and my brother. So I kind of feel like I have my hands full, and my business is growing. I have tons of big projects that I'm working on, and everything, like the trajectory of my life and all of like my goals seem to be aligning, and I'm getting all these manifestations that are coming into 3D. So I'm really loving this season right now. So I'm feeling like, girl, we're going to put a little pause on baby number 3 for now. I mean, I'm 35. I still have some time, and I really want to pour my energy and my love and my heart, my soul, my spirit into my current situation. And I feel like when I was pregnant with Leo, like I love being pregnant. But then once I had him, I felt like time just flew so much more because you're like, there's so much going on. And I look back now and I'm like, whoa, like 2 years, he's going to be 3 in September. Like these past 3 years have flown by. Like I look back at videos and pictures of Riley, like she was 6 when he was born. And I'm like, what? How are you 9? Like where did these past 3 years go? Anyways, so I kind of feel like, again, if another baby, I was to get pregnant tomorrow, let's just say, and then adding another baby into the mix, I'm like, wait, am I gonna, like time's gonna fly by even faster, and then there's all of us, and then, yeah, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a negative thing. I'm just being honest, and I feel like I want my platform to be a space where I can just speak to you candidly and share where I'm at right now. And it's kind of like my own little virtual diary too, you know, to be able to look back on and see where I was at this time. And like I said, right now doesn't feel like the time as much as it was feeling like that just a couple weeks ago, a month ago. But yeah, I'm trusting in my own instincts. I'm trusting in the timing. And that doesn't mean I'm closing the chapter on baby number 3. It doesn't mean that I'm, just ex-naying that that journey for me. It's just not right now. So I'm kind of putting a pin in it, and we'll revisit as kind of things unfold. But yeah, that kind of leads me into something, because again, I was reading, if you follow over on Instagram at Candace Catherine, go check it out on Instagram. I'm mostly active over there. But yeah, I actually shared that I was looking through some of my old journals, and from 3 years ago, when I didn't even know I was pregnant with Leo at the time. It was January, and I had my IUI at December 25th, so Christmas Day, the year just before. It's like 2 weeks before, not even. And I was doing my journaling in that January. And looking back now, it's crazy that literally everything that I wrote down, that I was, doing my visualization about, that I was manifesting and whatever, literally has come to be in the 3D, which is crazy, because I didn't, I knew so many things are happening, it's great, whatever, in real time. But to look back and be like, wait, where I was at then, it's crazy. Because I'll tell you a little story. We were living in a townhouse when I got pregnant with Leo. It was a cute little townhouse. We had manifested it after being in an apartment. Riley and I were in an apartment sharing a room, and it was this balcony is great. It was a really good balcony. It was actually really big, and it had great privacy. We loved it. We were out there all the time. But I was I want a yard for my kid. I want to be able to just open our door and be outside and not have to go through the elevators and lugging up groceries with a baby or a toddler at that time. And with groceries and all this stuff, it was just not ideal, right? So I was always can't wait to have a yard. I can't wait to have a home of our own that, we have a place we can just go play outside. We open the door and we're outside. So lugging in groceries and stuff would be so much easier. And I would always be visualizing this and not even really realizing that I'm manifesting it, because I don't think I even knew what manifestation was at that time. But either way, I was wishing for that, right? And visualizing that and imagining how much easier it would be to have that. So, but then fast forward, when she was 3, we got the townhouse, we're renting. But still, it was amazing. It had 3 floors. It had a little back outside area. It was wonderful. However, it wasn't fenced in. I'm not complaining. We loved it. We had so many great memories there. Riley had her own room, and we had it set up and whatever. And then again, fast forward, I did my 3rd IUI. I was pregnant, and it was okay, I love this. I love that we have an outdoor space, but I need it to be fenced in. It's not fenced in, right? And we were renting, so we're not allowed to just go and put a fence in. You have to ask permission and blah, blah, blah. So again, without really realizing it, I was manifesting these things. I want a house with a yard. I want it to be fenced in. I want to be able to have a pool, not just a little tiny little baby pool. I want to have a pool, a fenced in yard again that's safe, be able to get a dog maybe one day, and for the kids to have a room that's really great, to have a basement where we can just throw all the toys and junk and kind of get it out of the way, because in the townhouse everything was kind of on top of each other. And yeah, so just all these things I was visualizing, and at that time hoping for, wishing for, in my ideal world I would have this, And then fast forward to, I was pregnant. I already had Leo's crib set up. I already had everything set up and prepared for him. His dresser, I built that dresser while I was nice and pregnant. And then I get an offer from our then landlord saying that this house where we are now is available. Do we want to come check it out? And it was everything's set up. I'm big and pregnant. At that point I was 7 months pregnant, maybe 6 months pregnant at the time. I don't remember. And then to be able to move in, whatever. I think I was maybe 6 months pregnant, whatever. Anyways, so then I was okay, but we'll just go look, we'll see. And we came, and guess what? Spoiler alert, completely fenced in, has the yard to be able to put in a big pool, has the downstairs that's completely finished, that's safe and whatever for the kids, and the kids have a room, and all these wonderful things that, again, I didn't really realize I was making happen for myself. And the universe was okay, she wants this, so let's align that. So yeah, then we ended up, I was again on the fence though. I was like, oh my God, but we're gonna have to move and I'm really pregnant and have to pack everything up and we have a ton of stuff. How are we gonna do this? But then there was like, just like the little voice of like, just do it, girl. Just do it. You know, you're gonna do it, girl, just do it, or whatever that thing is. But yeah, so we did it. Fast forward, we're 3 years in this place. Love it. And now you're probably like, what the heck does this have to do with being a single mom by choice? Like, what is this, like, how is this relevant to me in any capacity? Now, it has everything to do with you. Hold on. Because it is confirmation, okay, that we, us as individuals, have all the power. Now, if you think that becoming a single mom by choice, okay, that is having a baby on your own, okay, you, right now, speaking to you, if you believe that's bad, it's terrible, everyone will hate you if you do that, you can't do that, it would be awful. Guess what? You are going to get confirmation all over the place that that is bad, terrible, not a good idea for you, you shouldn't do it. So that meaning you're going to see a comment maybe on one of my things. You're going to be scrolling, whatever, doom scrolling, and you'll see a video of mine or whatever, and someone wrote something nasty, and you're like, oh, see? Confirmation, I shouldn't do it. And then you're having a conversation with a friend, and the friend brings up, oh, single mom by choice. Did you see Lala Kent from Vanderpump? Oh my God, I can't believe she had a baby on her own. That is like creepy and weird. Again, confirmation, because the universe is going to give you back what you've got going on. Okay? And that might seem like, what are you even talking about? Now, if this is something that you would like to know more about, this is, again, huge passion. Love this stuff. If you want to know more in depth about that, you got to let me know, because I will dig deeper on those things. So if you're listening on the podcast, write a comment or DM me, okay? If you're listening, watching on YouTube, please write a comment or shoot me a message on Instagram, because I love this stuff. I could talk about it for days and days and days, because it's ultimately changed my life without me even freaking realizing it. But now that I have become conscious of it and understood, like, wait a minute, I have the power to do this. I have created jobs for myself. I have created like collaborations for myself, like manifested them that I didn't even, again, like, what am I even doing? And looking back, all of these things were because of these little practices that at that time, like, okay, write this down and visualize it and get excited about it, even though it's not happening. Like, I thought it was crazy, but I was like, you know what? Your girl wants these things. So like, okay, sure, show me and I'll do it, whatever. And I kind of just brushed it off as nonsense, but I did it anyways. And it turns out it's not nonsense. So, yeah, I want to share it with you, because if you are visualizing having another baby, or you're visualizing an amazing business opportunity, if you're visualizing being a single mom and you're having that baby and you're pregnant and all of these beautiful things that you want, I just want you to know that you have the power within you to make it happen. And you also have the power within you to decide what kind of experience that you have. Okay, so again, if it's, I'm a single mom, everyone's going to hate on me around me, and it's going to be so hard for me, and I'm not going to have any help, and we're going to struggle, and my kid's going to hate me when they grow up, and, I'm never going to date again, and no one's ever going to like me. My business is my job is going to give me a hard time because I'm going to need time off to be with my kid, and it's going to be miserable. I shouldn't do it. Guess what? If that's what you've got going on in your head, that's exactly what you're going to get. Okay? And although it's not easy to change it, the inner dialogue, because again, if you've gotten a lot of negativity in your life or whatever, it's because of the things that you have going on in your head. But, okay, it's besides the point. You have the power to change it today, like immediately. You have the power to decide, like, I'm going to be a single mom by choice, or it doesn't even have to be that, okay? It could be, because a lot of things that I get too is I would never be able to afford that. Like, IVF is so expensive. If you keep telling yourself that, of course you can't afford it, because you've decided you can't afford it. Period. You've stopped looking. That's it. Done. That door is closed. You're too broke. It's never going to happen for you. That's for rich people. You've decided, you've accepted that if you have that dialogue going on. So you need to change that dialogue. You need to visualize that you have the money to be able to do IVF. Google it. Do some research. Look inside of single mom mindset. Get some resources together, okay? Look for proof that you can do it. There are tons of moms. I did it when I was renting a townhouse, certainly not wealthy. I think I was making, at the time, $65,000 a year. And I bet you're like, what? Wait, yeah, okay? So there's ways of making these things happen, okay? You just have to trust that there's ways that you can make it happen, and you don't need to know how. That's the thing too, is a lot of us get caught up in the, how am I gonna ever do that? Like, there's no way that I could do that. That's for them. Those people do that. You see those like girls on TikTok or the girls on Instagram that are crushing it or whatever, and you're like, yeah, because they're this, they're that, you know, they're lucky, people really like them because they're something special. No, that's not the reality. It's, you got to work on like your value. You have to work on what you want. And again, whatever that is, for, you know, example for this page, right? Our content is single mom by choice, and being happy and empowered as an independent woman, and as a woman that's not following the rules per se. You have the choice to decide to be happy in that. Okay, if you want to be able to afford IVF, but you're like, there's no way, it's crazy, my job only pays me whatever it does, and that's just barely enough to get by, I couldn't add that on top of it. Okay, so you need to work on writing down exactly what it is that you want. Okay, so and you're writing it in the present tense. Jennifer, okay, talking to you, Jen, or whoever, right? I can easily and effortlessly afford a round of IVF. That round of IVF, you know, allows me to conceive my beautiful, healthy son or daughter, whatever their name is going to be. Write it all down. I have a smooth and easy delivery. My recovery is fantastic. The feeling of them placing my son, daughter, whatever their name, Bob, on my chest feels euphoric. I've envisioned this day for many years, yada, yada, yada. You don't need to know the how, okay? Because somebody could come knock on your door tomorrow and you suddenly have some inheritance. Somebody died and they left you in their will. Some great uncle you don't know about. You could get some kind of salary upgrade, some bonus, some random bonus you weren't expecting because your team did really well this quarter. I don't know. It could be anything. The thing is you don't need to know how. So many of us get focused on the, yeah, right, but like, this is how much I make. That's how much I make in my salary, and other than that, what else am I gonna do? Win the lottery or something? If that's the attitude, you ain't getting, okay? We have to eliminate the how. The how doesn't matter. If you wanna be a fierce, independent, single mama who's got a home, who's got the whatever, the business, who's got the, you know, A1 position at your work that you're at, or you get a new job, or you're, you know, you have a book deal, or I don't care, you want to be a reality TV star, I don't care, it doesn't matter what it is. You just need to trust that you can have it. And it's all about mindset. It's all about manifestation. It's all about trusting. It's the law of attraction. You need to find a way to believe, okay? And that all takes practice. Again, if you want to talk more about this, you got to let me know, and I will continue this and kind of like maybe flavor it into like my content. But yeah, I feel like it's an important thing because, again, it goes with everything in life. If you want to thrive as a single mom and you want to have that journey and you want to enjoy that journey, and you see other people doing it and you're like, oh, why them? Why not me? Why is it for them, not me? What's wrong with me? Or whatever. You're just going to get more of that. You need to visualize it. You need to feel it, that electric energy of your beautiful future. You deserve it. This is a really random episode, but I'm just like super pumped about the possibilities and the things that have happened in my life and are going to continue to happen, and I'm so excited about them, and just how excited I am for you and your journey. And I just want you to trust and believe that you are an incredible woman, you're an incredible person, and you are deserving of every single thing that you desire. Okay, and if that includes being a single mom by choice, you got it, babe. I mean, I feel like that is it. It was just a little word of encouragement to trust the process, trust the journey, but also trust yourself, and just do some practices, some little exercises to kind of reframe your brain and remind yourself that the universe is infinite. Okay? So if you want to be a happy mama raising your kid on your own with a great village around